In Western medicine, when they say pulse diagnosis, they actually mean a patient and they are checking the pulse, the radial artery, and they assess the heart rate, how strong it is. And it's part of the physical examination. The use of all this, the pressure and so on, to understand abnormalities like rapid heart rate or slow heart rate, irregular rhythms, and so on. Now, in traditional Chinese medicine, it's a bit more complicated, and they use the pulse for organ systems. And in Ayurveda, it's also different because it's not just physical, but we are touching our fingers on the same point, that artery, but we are looking for an energetic feedback or biofeedback that's coming from the body through that energetic pulse. Vedic pulse assessment is called Nadi assessment or Nadi pariksha. Nadi pariksha is energy medicine. Why energy medicine? Because we are not checking the pulse of the physical body. We are checking the pulse of the energetic body. Now you would say, what is energetic body? Subtle body or astral body or metaphysical body. It goes by many, many names. Let me explain. In the yoga system in Ayurveda, we are not just the body. There's something inside our body that makes it move. We have a layer called Atma or soul that animates us. And it also makes an energetic body called Sthula Sharira. It's made of Manomaya Kosha. It's made of mind, ego, and intelligence. It's our consciousness body. Some people call it the astral body, metaphysical body, or whatever. Let's call it energetic body. So we are not just a physical body, and there's energetic body attached to us that we can't see, but it's bigger than our physical body. And we call it our personal space. So if someone's standing real close to you and they say, you're in my personal space, because they are in the space where your energetic body is, because energetic body is bigger and longer and wider than a physical body. This energetic body is also called the subtle body. Some people call it the subtle body. Some people say that it's made of ego, mind, memories, the unconscious, the subconscious, the superconscious. And how is it related to a physical body? So there is a space that exists between our physical and the spiritual realm. And that space, we cannot see it with our eyes, but we can feel it. And in that realm, our subtle body is, right? And it animates our physical body. This is why when people, sometimes they've had a surgery or a limb has been amputated, they still feel that the limb is there because the limb is still there in their subtle body. The subtle body is made of energy, of prana. And this is where the word nadi comes in. Listen, this is going to make sense. Listen to me. In the texts, it says, like there are Upanishads, these are old Vedic texts. In the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, it says, and also in Goraksh Samhita, that there are 72,000 nadis, right? But in Shiva Samhita, which is another text, that it says there are 350,000 nadis that are coming from the navel. However, in our system, in the Narayana system, we are looking at Katha Upanishada, which is another text, which says there are 100 nadis or 101 nadis where the area of the soul is the 101st. And that further divides it to another 100. So 100 times 100. How does this work? They talk about nadis. And what they say is inside our heart is Atma, which is 1/10,000th the size of the width of your hair. The size of the end of the width of your hair, 1/10,000th of it is Atma or soul or spirit that animates us. Because of the presence of that little tiny part of divine, that Atma, the soul, inside a body, there are 100 nadis that come out of the soul, energies, right? And then they further divide each of those 100 nadis coming out of this bubble of our Atma or spirit, then multiplies into another 100. So 100 into 100, that's a lot. That's 10,000 nadis or nadikas. So the nadikas are the sub-nadis. So when we are talking about the spiritual body or the subtle body, that is made of nadis, the energy. So when we are doing pulsology, which is done in Chinese medicine, Korean medicine, Japanese medicine, Shinto, in the Unani medicine, of course, in Ayurvedic medicine, this is what they're checking, especially in the yoga. That prana body, we are checking the nadi. That is why the word for pulse assessment in Ayurveda, in the Vedic system, is called a nadi pariksha. Nadi means this energetic nadis, and pariksha means assessment. In Ayurvedic pulsology or nadi pariksha, we are checking what's happening with those energetic bodies. In the energetic body, Vata, Pitta, Kapha are present as Prana, Tejas, and Ojas. Sattva, Tamas, Rajas are present. All these layers and energies are flowing. And you cannot really touch somebody's energetic body, but you can feel for the energetic body by touching certain areas in the body where the energetic pulse or energetic nadi is felt. In the Ayurvedic textbooks, they're a little bit mentioned as there of nadi. Here and there, but it doesn't go in detail. What has happened is people have learned from their gurus and a guru parampara who have meditated on this. And then these things are never written down. And they just passed on from the guru to the teacher to the student. And you don't find any records because these are divinations. Divination is, for example, astrology is a divination, or doing a tarot card is a divination. Similarly, Ayurvedic Nadi, there is a clinical aspect also, but there is a divination aspect that really cannot be taught for a person who is a meditation practitioner, a spiritual practitioner. You basically make your body and make your fingers a place where you invoke deities and they enter, and you just receive the knowledge from them of what is happening in another person's Nadi. Having said that, what is written about the Nadis is this. In the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, it says, and also in Goraksha Samhita, that there are 72,000 nadis. According to Shiva Samhita, there's 350,000 nadis. But in Ayurveda, for the purpose of learning in my system, in the Narayana system, we are going with Katha there's 100,000 nadis originating from the heart, from the soul. There are 100 nadis or 101 nadis where the area of the soul is the 101st. And that further divides it to another 100. 100 nadis got divided into 100. Now they further divide till you become 100,000 nadis. So they just keep on, dividing further and further. Now, one interesting thing is whether you're looking at the yogic texts, or you're looking at Shiva Samhita, or you're looking at the Upanishads, one thing is common in all of them. They all say that there are 14 main nadis that we need to concentrate on. Just forget about the rest for now. There are 14 nadis that are super, super important. Even just taking the name of the 14 nadis, we can invoke the nadis. We can activate them, invoke them by just taking the names and thinking about them, meditating on them. Nadis are important not just in the yoga, but also for marma. And in the Narayan system of Nadi, which is still evolving, by the way, we are using both a combination of the yoga, a little bit from the Shiva Samhita, and also from the Kathopanishad, and what I've learned from my teachers, and so on. So let's go and see if we can try to say the names of the nadis. Sushupta Ida Pingala Gandhari Haste Jeva Kuhu Saraswati Pusha Shankhini Payasvini Varuni Anambusha Vishodari Yashaswini. Let's talk about Saraswati. This is a very common saying in India. We say, Saraswati resides in their throat. What is the Saraswati? Saraswati is the goddess of learning, of speech. Saraswati is invoked when she's activated, and she appears in the throat. The nadi becomes active. Our words have power, almost like a superpower. And when she's in the throat or the tongue, whatever you say comes true. So the presiding deity of this particular nadi is Saraswati, right? And when Saraswati is activated, if we say bad things or even good things, it comes true. So Nadi is an amazing thing. There are presiding deities of the Nadi that are Shaktis. They are powers. They're energy centers. For example, some of the name are Hastajivika, Kuhu, Saraswati, Pusha, Shankani, Payaswani, Varuni, Alambusha, Vishwodari, and Yashaswani. So I give my pranams to these goddesses. So there is one Nadi right in the middle of a body that runs through her spinal cord, and that is called the Sushumna Nadi. On the left side of the body, there's the feminine Nadi that coils like a snake, and it goes through certain points on the Sushumna Nadi or the spine, and it's the feminine energy. And on the left side is Pingala Nadi, which coils like a snake on the right side of the body. And where these three nadis meet, the Ida, the Sushumna, the Pingala, that point becomes chakras. So you have heard of chakra scanning. That is Nadi scanning. So usually when people do chakra meditation, they'll go from down to up. But no, from a Nadi perspective, you always go from top to down. You start from the crown chakra and then you go down. That is like when you, like right now, think about your crown chakra, think about your crown. So now you're accessing the energy in the crown, your energetic body, your subtle body that intersects the crowns. And we want our vata, we want our prana to get grounded. So we always scan our nadis and chakras from up to down, top to bottom. This is called a vata anulomana, prana anulomana. And when this makes us grounded, and then we're able to meditate better. Now, sometimes if a person is too lazy or they don't have a lot of energy, then we'll do the opposite. Then we will go maybe from our legs or the bottom of our chakra, then do a scan upwards. So how do you start learning Nadi Pariksha? Let's start right now. Let's get you started. Let's start meditating on the top of our head, the crown chakra, and try to imagine or visualize an energy center on the top of your head. And there is an energy line going from the top of your head and all the way into your central axis. It is grounding you, and it is the gravity is holding that energetic line up, and it goes right in your center. It's the center of your gravity line, and that's your Sushumna Nadi. Just try to visualize it, and visualize the two nadis that are crisscrossing the left side and the right side, Ida and Pingala. Now, all these nadis have a presiding deity. So we will think about the presiding deity and we will invoke them. Now, the energetic line in the spine called Sushumna Nadi has 5 colors that become the 5 colors of the chakras. The presiding deity of the left side of the body, think of beautiful water right now, water of Ganga, and invoke Ganga, who is a goddess, and she has a giant alligator or a crocodile that she rides on. And touch your ring finger and think about Ganga and invoke that energy in the left side of your body, and imagine that Ida Nadi is a river going zigzag, and invoke Ganga Ji, and you will start feeling a little bit of tingling on your ring finger. Keep on invoking, keep on thinking about it, keep on giving her pranams till that tingling appears. Now you've activated the Ida Nadi. Now put your thumb to your index finger. Think about the center of your gravity, your spine. Scan your spine from the crown chakra and start moving down, an internal scan all the way to your eyes, to your throat chakra, to your heart chakra, to your sacrum, and all the way down. And imagine it is changing colors. This energetic line that goes inside your spine changes colors, and you should start feeling some tingling in your middle finger. Now you have activated the Sushumna Nadi on your index finger. Now touch your thumb to the middle finger. The presiding deity of this Nadi, which we are trying to activate, is in the right side of the body. and it's the Pingala Nadi. And the presiding deity is the sun, the Surya. So if you're sitting outside by the window and you can see the sun, just kind of meditate on the sun and invoke the sun in your finger, in your body. You should feel a little bit of heat. Some people see color, heat, or maybe feel a tingling on the middle finger. So if you felt a tingle in the ring finger or the middle finger or the index finger, now we are ready to do a Nadi Pariksha, which we will do in the part 2 of this podcast.